The writer of this story is Shikha Srivastav. Rachet was searching for some papers in his father's old files when he came across some papers on which blood was splattered. Rachet looked at those papers in surprise and started trying to read them. Many letters written on them were almost erased. Still, when he somehow read them, he was surprised. These papers were of a bungalow which his father had bought years ago. Rachet took those papers to his mother Veena G and said, "Mother, see what I have found in father's file." On hearing about the bungalow, Veena G got nervous and snatched those papers from his hand and said, "Who told you to touch these? I will burn them today." "What are you saying, Mother? First of all, I am not able to understand that when father had this bungalow, then why are we all living in this rented house till date? Papa has never even mentioned this bungalow till date, and you are also talking about burning it," Rachet said in a worried tone. Seeing these papers, tears came in Veena G's eyes. Asking her and somehow controlling herself, she said, "Now you are done. That is why today I am telling you everything. This is the story of the time when your father and I were newly married. We used to live in the city near the forest where this bungalow is located. Our business was also spread. One day we both went for a walk towards the forest. There was this magnificent bungalow on the bank of the river. This bungalow was so beautiful that I was attracted to it at once, and I was adamant to buy it. Your father also fulfilled my insistence, and soon this bungalow became ours. We often used to go there to stay on weekends. One day, while decorating the bungalow, I came across one of my paintings which was of this bungalow, but it was very old and scary. I took it down from the wall and threw it. As soon as I did this, it was as if a storm came in the bungalow. Its walls got cracked and blood started oozing from there. Before we could understand anything, the papers of the bungalow came out of the cupboard and started dancing in the air in front of us, and blood was splattered on them. At the same time, a terrifying voice echoed in the air, "If you want to save your life, then leave this place right now and never come back." Somehow we composed ourselves and got out of there. But I don't know what came to my mind that I brought the papers of the bungalow with me. Now I feel that I had made a big mistake. This incident had a very bad effect on your father's mind. Slowly, our business also started sinking. Our own people supported us. Then we came to live in this city, away from all acquaintances and relatives. Your father was no longer in a condition to work. That is why I took the responsibility of the house. The rest you know everything. How we spent our days before you got a job. Rachet also became sad after hearing the whole story from his mother. He took the papers of the bungalow from Veena G's hand and put them back in the file. And he started getting ready to go to the office silently. Today in the office too, Rachet's mind was going around thinking about that bungalow. And he was not able to concentrate on his work at all, because soon he had a meeting with the company's boss, Mr. Dharmic. So, despite not wanting to, he had to suppress his feelings and go towards the conference hall. During the meeting, Mr. Dermot noticed that Rachet was a bit worried. Rachet was one of his favorite employees, so he asked him the reason for his worry. Suddenly, Rachet remembered that Mr. Dermot often used to talk about black powers, and he also keeps researching about them. So he told them everything. After talking to Rachet, Mr. Dermot said, "Listening to you, it seems that the secret of this bungalow is hidden in the same painting that your mother threw in the river. Today, perhaps that time has come, that I should use what I have learned from my Guruji. That is why we will go to that bungalow tomorrow itself. But if something happens to both of us, then no, I am very scared," Rachet said nervously. Dermot explained to him, "Don't be afraid, nothing will happen to us. I will make all the arrangements for our safety by doing some special puja tonight.
Please like and subscribe.
Now you go home and rest. I'm also going to my home today after taking leave." When Rachet came home and told Veena G about going to the bungalow with Mr. Dermot, then she tried a lot to stop him, but Rachet had full faith in Mr. Dermot. The next day, at the appointed time, Mr. Dermot came to Rachet's house. Veena G also tried a lot to convince him, but Mr. Dermot said, "Auntie, don't worry. If God wishes, you will get your bungalow back soon. Just give me the bungalow papers." Now Veena G could not resist. and she brought the papers and handed them over to Mr. Dermot. Mr. Dermot kept those papers carefully in his bag and then put an enchanted locket around Ratchet's neck. He also had a similar locket around his neck. "Whatever happens, Ratchet, don't take this locket off your neck. It will protect us from evil forces for the next few hours and won't let us sleep." Ratchet agreed to Mr. Dermot's request. After 7 long hours, Mr. Dermot and Ratchet were outside that bungalow. This bungalow was completely destroyed. As soon as they both opened the door to go inside the bungalow, a strong storm started there. Still, they both were not scared. And holding each other's hands firmly, they entered the bungalow. It was pitch dark inside the bungalow, but Mr. Dermot had come there fully prepared. He immediately took out candles from his bag and lit them. A special kind of fragrance was coming from these candles. Both of them were thinking about something further when suddenly someone started laughing in the bungalow. As soon as this laughter stopped, another voice echoed. "With the help of candles, you will get us out of here. Yes, impossible. Extinguish those electricity. And go away from here." Hearing this, Ratchet and Mr. Dermot got scared. Ratchet wanted to say something, but Mr. Dermot signaled him to keep quiet and find the painting. Both of them got busy with their work with candles in their hands. Due to the locket and candles, the black powers present in the bungalow were not able to come near them, but they were trying their best to scare them. Despite being scared inside, Gautam was busy in his work without stopping. Time was passing, but they were not being found. 24 hours had passed. Only 24 hours were left for the power of their locket to be restored. "It seems that we will not succeed," Ratchet said softly to Mr. Dermot. And in anger, he slammed his feet on the floor and his foot went inside the floor. Seeing this, Mr. Dermot bent down to take out Ratchet's foot from the hole in the floor. Then he found a painting buried inside the floor. Ratchet and Mr. Dermot somehow managed to take out the painting from there, but after this, both of them were very tired. So they sat there for a long time. Mr. Dermot now started looking at this painting carefully, and he found that the name of this bungalow was written in a special tantric code in this painting. It was written on the picture. He closed his eyes and bowed to his guru from whom he had learned Tantra Vidya. After this he started this code. Slowly, everything about the bungalow became clear to him. Once upon a time there was an ashram of some tantric in place of this bungalow. They wanted to enslave the whole world through their black powers and rule over them. When the village head came to know about this, he consulted his guru and burnt those tantric along with their ashram. After this, his guru made this picture with the raga present there and hid their story in it, and by binding its frame with a mantra, he imprisoned the evil powers of those tantric in it. Along with this, he ordered the Mukhya Ji to build a bungalow here which looks exactly like this picture in place of the ashram. Ratchet is listening to the whole story with open mouths in surprise. Mr. Dermot further said that his friend got broken when your mother threw away the painting and the black powers imprisoned in it came out. So what should he do now? Ratchet asked with doubt. Mr. Dermot, while carefully looking at the frame of the painting, said that we have to make this frame again. But for this, we need the same material from which it was made earlier. It is in this forest, but I don't know where. You go quickly and try to find it. Till then I will prepare for the puja. And listen, be careful, those black powers will try to scare you, but there is still 18 hours of power left in our locket. So don't panic, mister. When Ratchet went out to search after listening to Dermot, the evil powers also followed him to stop him. Sometimes they created an illusion of a deep pit in front of Ratchet. Sometimes they rained bones and blood on him. And sometimes they warned him in a scary voice to go back from here, but Ratchet kept moving ahead quietly, remembering Mr. Dermot's words. He searched almost the entire forest, but he was not able to find it. 6 hours had passed and now despair had started dominating Ratchet. He remembered his god in his mind and started moving ahead again, requesting him for help. Suddenly his eyes went towards a small temple which was hidden in the bushes. Hoping for help, Ratchet went towards it. As soon as he stepped into the temple, a voice came, "Come, I have been waiting for you for a long time." Ratchet looked in that direction with surprise and saw that a very old sadhu was immersed in meditation. When Rachit bowed to him, the Sadhu Baba opened his eyes and blessed him and said, "We have been waiting for this day for a long time. When you come here, come and walk with me." As if hypnotized, Rachit walked with him. He pointed towards a coin to Rachit and took one out of his bag and gave it to him. As soon as Rachit cut it, it disappeared from there as if it never existed. Now giving a mantra to Rachit, the Sadhu Baba said, "Chant this mantra. It will take you to the bungalow immediately. Go quickly, time is very short." Rachit bowed to him once again. And closing his eyes, he started chanting the mantra given by them, with the help of which he reached the bungalow in a blink of an eye. Mr. Dermot now took the frame from Rachit's hand and started making it. As the frame was being made, the sound of screaming and shouting of the evil spirits present in the bungalow was also coming. They were still trying to stop them somehow by throwing things present in the bungalow on Rachit and Mr. Dermot. But Mr. Dermot was engaged in his work without stopping. Now only half an hour was left for the power of the locket to end. Finally the frame was made and Mr. Dermot took out the painting from its old broken frame and put it in the new frame, and then placing it on the place of worship he had made, he lit the fire in the altar. And a mantra was chanted, and as the offerings were made in the fire with the mantra, one by one all the evil powers got trapped back in the painting in the form of black smoke. In the next few moments there was peace. Seeing this, Rachit became happy, and in an impulse he hugged Mr. Dermot. Then separating him from himself, Mr. Dermot said that there is still a special work left. So save yourself. What is left now, sir? Your sacrifice. Saying this, Dermy started laughing, and in no time he tied Rachit in ropes. After this, he took out the bungalow papers from his bag and kept them near the altar. Rachit was very scared after seeing all this. He saw that Dermot's eyes had turned bloodshot and his face started looking very scary. Rachit was not able to understand what he should do now. Then Dermot said, "Come on, before I sacrifice you, I will satisfy your curiosity." No, there was a leader of these tantrics who died in the ashram built at this place by burning. All of them hated me and wanted to snatch my cities, so I hid my cities here in the ground. The day the fire was set here, I had gone out from here. So, with their cooperation, I was saved. When the disputed matter from this place cooled down, then I came to take back my cities hidden here, but then I came to know that this place was bound by the power of holy mantras. Now I could not do anything even if I wanted to. So, quietly I kept waiting for the right time. Then one day your parents came here, and your mother destroyed the power of mantras by breaking the frame of the painting, but even then I could not get back my powers present at this place because they had gone with the bungalow papers in the form of blood splatters. Now I took refuge in my guru. Then he told me about you with his power. With the blessings of my guru, I can take any form, so to hide from the world, I took this form and started living among you humans and working like you. I waited for you to be with me. As soon as placement started in your college, I reached there and I gave you a job in my office and started getting close to you. Before I could find the right opportunity and ask you about this bungalow, you yourself told me about it and made my work easy. Now the power of all these dead tantrics has also come under my control, who once wanted to snatch my powers from me. By sacrificing just one human being, that is, you, I will become the master of these infinite powers, and this whole world will be in my fist. You cannot do this if I do not return to my home. Then my mother will go to the police, and then you will go. Rachit said, gathering courage. In response, Dermot said, laughing, "By the time your mother gets to know about your fate, I would have become all-powerful." Yes, Rachit was now facing his death. He closed his eyes and remembered his parents and God. He was regretting that he had wished he had listened to his mother and had not come here, but what could be done now? So he quietly started waiting for his fate. Dermot now started chanting again. As soon as he wanted to throw the enchanted ashes on Rachit, a voice came, "Stop." Along with Dermot, Rachit also raised his head in shock, and there was the same Sadhu Baba in front of him, whom Rachit had met in the forest. He immediately opened the bond of Rachit with his power, and he tied Dermot in the same bond. After this, Sadhu Baba said that only you could gather the scattered powers of your companions. That is why I was waiting till now. Now that you have imprisoned all these back in the frame, now the time has come for your destruction as well. You cannot do this. My guru will save me. Saying this, Dermot started calling his guru. Sadhu Baba smiled and said that the hypocrite who was once my disciple and your guru will never come to you again. See what I have done to him. As soon as Sadhu Baba waved his hand, like a movie, the scene of Dermot's guru burning to death started playing in front of Ratchet and Dermot. No, this cannot happen, this is impossible. Dermot shouted in anger. Sadhu Baba said nothing is impossible. Whoever has come to this world, he has to leave from here one day or the other. Everyone has their own time. To kill your hypocrite guru. The power that I needed, I got it today itself when my city was completed and I destroyed this evil instantly. Now it is your turn to be destroyed forever. Hearing his words, Ratchet's courage increased and he quickly got up and went to Sadhu Baba. Before Dermot could do anything, Sadhu Baba took the ashes present in his fist, and he threw it on Dermot. Dermot and the painting of the bungalow vanished into the air like ashes. As soon as the evil forces vanished, the bungalow shone with the holy light of the sun. Sadhu Baba blessed Ratchet and said that now this bungalow is free from all kinds of problems. Bring your parents here, and start their business again with your father. Dermot's suicide note will reach his office tomorrow. By the time you reach there, everyone present there will have forgotten that you had ever gone anywhere with Dermot. Ratchet bowed down to Sadhu Baba's feet to pay his respects. Sadhu Baba disappeared from there as he bowed down. Ratchet picked up his bag and locked the bungalow and left. While going back from here, he was happy and sad too. He thought that this bungalow bought with his father's hard-earned money was no longer haunted. But at the same time he was sad that he had put his family in trouble by trusting a fraud like Dermot without thinking. When Ratchet told his parents the truth about Dermot after reaching his city, both of them were shocked. Meena Ji immediately bowed her head in front of God that he had saved Ratchet from so much trouble. After a few days, Ratchet came back to that bungalow with his parents and also started his father's business once again. His father's mental condition also started improving now. With the blessings of Sadhu Baba, this bungalow once again started shining with its splendor, becoming a symbol of victory of good over evil. If you like this story, subscribe to us.